Standard Life Investments is one of the UK's leading fund managers, dedicated to delivering excellent investment results.
My name is Kelly Mill. I went to Edinburgh University, studied History of Art and English Literature, and I now work for Standard Life Investments, and I'm on the Operations Graduate Scheme. The role that I currently have in Standard Life Investments is Risk and Compliance. This is the second of 3 placements that I'll be doing over the course of the 2-year scheme. At the moment, I'm involved with event reporting, so anything that goes wrong anywhere in any area of the business, we take control of that and we make sure that there are adequate preventative measures put in place and that all clients and other parties are adequately compensated for any losses. The other areas of risk and compliance are financial crime, which includes money laundering, compliance with regulators and with internal regulations, and corporate governance. Various other areas, basically all to ensure that the growth of the company is controlled in an adequate manner.
Standard Life Investments offer a range of savings and investment options to personal investors, including investment trusts, instant savings accounts, ISAs, and an open-ended investment company, OIC, which allows direct investment into any of its actively managed funds.
I'm Michael Donaldson. I work for Standard Life Investments. My current role is a systems analyst within the Investment Management Services department. I joined Standard Life Investments in 2006. Prior to that, I studied at Heriot-Watt University. I studied operations management. My department is the Investment Management Services. We are responsible for managing the global platform for Standard Life Investments' investment process. My role in that department is to administer our front office systems called Charles River. My daily interaction is with the fund managers and traders. My role is quite unique as an operations-based person in that I get daily interaction with the fund managers and traders.
Based in Edinburgh and part of the Standard Life Group, Standard Life Investments boast a talented team of 235 global investment professionals, backed up by over 490 expert support staff.
There is a gravitas that's attached to any investment house, which Standard Life Investments does have. People think of it as being a stuffy investment area where it can only go in one particular direction and that's guided by the leading lights of the company. Here it's not the case. It's the perfect place for a graduate to come because the company is so young and so fresh. It's only been established as an independent part of Standard Life for 7 years now. It's growing at such a rapid rate. What it needs are young, vibrant people who are driven to succeed in whatever discipline. And we have the very rare opportunity to shape the future of the company. There's very few places that you could go there are very few places that you could work where they actually genuinely look for the opinions of the employees, especially at graduate level. And your opinions really count. Sometime after, I think, a month of being here, I was presenting to the executive board, and some of the ideas that we presented there were actually taken on and implemented and are now functioning as part of the staff rewards scheme.
Standard Life Investments investment managers have an average of 10 years investment experience and manage worldwide assets of over £140 billion, taking pride in an exceptional performance record and fruitful client relationships.
There are people from every discipline. For example, I'm a History of Art graduate, we have Geography graduates, we have Marketing graduates, as well as the business and economic graduates that you would expect. Standard Life don't focus on the weaknesses that you have or the areas that you're not particularly strong in. They look for your talents. It's a very positive approach to graduate employment. So they're looking to deploy any particular talents and skills that you have in the area that is best suited. As a company, they're looking for graduates from all areas because, of course, the company itself has so many different disciplines we cover. It's not just the expected front office, the dealers and the traders. In order for the company to be successful, it needs people who are very strong in communications, it needs people who are very strong in logical thinking and problem solving, all the practical sides of the company that very often are forgotten, I think, by graduates these days.
With a fully fledged graduate recruitment programme and rapidly accelerating business growth, Standard Life Investments' clear philosophy of best practice business and investor responsibility is a winning formula whose rewards will be reaped for decades to come.
Well, operations in particular is a 2-year graduate training programme. We spend our time in various placements throughout the company, and those can be very, very diverse, from project planning to risk and compliance to finance or software. It depends where your particular talents lie. The placements set you up with an understanding of the business of an overview of the business from end to end. So you understand how clients are brought into the company, how they're taken care of and how their service needs are met, to how the funds are actually organised and the trades are done. The scheme itself is organised so that at the end of the scheme you understand everything.
Our operations graduate scheme is available to anybody from any discipline. How the scheme works is it works on rotations around the business. For me, this is a fantastic opportunity because you're in the unique position where you will get to see how the company works from the start of a trade to the end of a trade.
When I started at the scheme, I was very clear in my mind that I wanted to manage a team of people, of business professionals. As I've progressed in the scheme, it's becoming slightly more vague. This is the perfect opportunity for somebody who doesn't necessarily know exactly where they want to end up. The wealth of opportunities that are presented to you by the company are really quite staggering. Until you become more deeply embroiled in the company, you don't realise how many different areas there are and how many different opportunities there can be. And it opens your eyes. After only a year into the scheme, I've started to realise there are so many different opportunities that don't necessarily lead to managing people. They could be managing processes. They could be managing relationships with our clients or outsourced third parties. They could be taking care of a team of people at various levels. It might be 1 or 2 investment professionals or a team of 20 people who are dealing with administrative tasks. I think the best advice I could offer any graduate looking for a career would be not to rule anything out. As somebody who graduated in history of art, I don't imagine this is the obvious career path to take, but I couldn't be happier with the choices that I've made. It's a brilliant opportunity in management, but also it expands your horizons to think about things that you might not necessarily have given any thought to. And the way that Standard Life Investments works, they help you to develop your talents and your skills and show you where you could use them most effectively in the company.